G'day everybody, my name's Luke Fitzpatrick and thank you for supporting Fish That Snag. Today's topic is all about safety, boat and trailer checks. So it's November already, December is just around the corner, and without a doubt there's quite a few people out there who are going to be blowing the dust off a boat, bringing it out of the garage for the first time in a while and planning on hitting the water with their family or their mates for an epic adventure in this wonderful country of ours over the Christmas break. Now, you don't want to be one of those people who never reaches their destination because their trailer fails on the journey, or one of those people sitting on the boat ramp, motor won't turn over because you forgot to check the batteries, forgot to test the motor, or even worse, one of those people reversing their boat down the ramp and off she slides before she even reaches the water because you forgot to check your safety chain. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you through the monthly checks that I conduct, my safety, boat and trailer checks that I go through every month to make sure everything is in tip-top condition. Now, for some people, the check that I'm about to go through is fairly comprehensive. I do it every month because I'm on the water so much, at least 2 to 3 times a week. But regardless, I still like to go through and do the checks because 1, I'm out there by myself quite a lot. 2, when I'm not by myself, I've usually got one of my boys with me, so I want to make sure they're very, very safe. And 3, if it's not just me and one of the boys, it's usually the whole family. And the last thing I want to do is jeopardise the safety of my entire family while we're trying to enjoy time out on the water. Now, I've got 2 types of checklists which I use, mainly because I've got a terrible, terrible memory. The first one is my quick start checklist. This one always stays over in my prep area where my tackle and everything gets prepped. I just leave it on the table as a bit of a visual check for myself to do as I'm packing the boat and getting ready to go out on a journey. Alright, so it's a cut down version of my monthly check. Covers all the important stuff. Monthly check goes through and does everything in fine detail. The one I'm going to run through today is my monthly boat check and trailer check. Okay, I've pinched the idea off the West Australian government. A few years ago I came across a little saying called the BEST boat check. BEST standing for boat, equipment, safety and trailer. Then they had a series of things under each of those headings to check, and over the last couple of years I've just gone through and refined it for my situation. By the way, both of these documents and a few other little bits and pieces, templates and things which you'll see today that I have on my boat and in the garage will all be available for download directly through the fishthatsnag.com.au website. So this is the best boat check that we're going to be going through today. I'm going to start on the left under boat. The first thing we're going to look at is the motor. So the first thing I'm looking at is it serviced and what is the due date. I've got a note on there for May next year. Fuel wise, I want to check the fuel. If I'm going out on a trip, I want to make sure I've got at least a 50% reserve on where I'm going. I usually carry a 10 litre jerry can in the back just in case anyway. I want to inspect the fuel line, inspect the fuel filter and lubricate and grease those parts around the motor that require it. So we'll just have a quick look at that. So I want to conduct a visual check of the fuel line and fuel filter and make sure you carry a spare. Identify the lubrication points on the motor, so the grease nipples. There's a couple hiding around the place. Give them a bit of a clean up and lubricate. Use a good quality marine grease. Tick things off as you go. Batteries. I always take my secondary battery out and charge it after a trip, and once a month I whack the charger on my cranking battery. Cranking battery, you really want to pay attention to the terminals, make sure they're free of any gunk, make sure everything's tightened nicely. Go through one by one and check all of these, make sure your lights work, give them a bit of a tap and a rattle. Don't forget to turn on your bilge pump, listen to make sure it's working, and I always check my electric motor. When I was checking my radio, it didn't start, didn't turn on. I was a little bit perplexed, and what I actually found after sitting there for 2 weeks, no use, a little bit of corrosion had built up on one of the points at the back of the radio. Gave it a bit of a clean and she came on and worked fine. With the propeller, you really want to look for in the back there to make sure everything's well connected and it's not going to fall off. Last thing, turn the motor on and check the telltale. Okay, pull all your ropes out, your anchor out, all those bits and pieces. Pull out my little just in case box, make sure everything's in there. Plenty of food, just in case I get stuck overnight. And I stow them in the rear right hatch of the Quintrex. Okay, safety gear. Break it all out and have a look at it. This is what I usually carry. Visually check all the seams, straps, buckles. If you've got this tight, pull them out, make sure they haven't been used. Check the little green tag. It'll tell you if it's been popped or not. Also the kids ones, I always dry them out then hang them up in the garage. Pull them down as well. Have a good visual check of them. Check the whistles, the buckles, all that sort of stuff. Distress flares, make sure you got the right type. Check the due dates, or the expiry date, sorry. V-sheet, first aid kit, crank it out. Have a look at everything. EPIRB. I keep my EPIRB in my grab bag, the yellow bag top right. Okay, make sure the battery's good and give it a test. Hit the test button, light goes, couple of beeps and you're good, and don't forget your paddle. Okay, cheat sheets. I used to keep this at the bottom of the glove box in front of me, but I've now decided to stick it on the screen in front of us. You can download these off of the Fish That Snag website. The only thing you'll need to adjust on them is your registration number, okay? They're currently set up with my registration number. Okay, we're onto the trailer. Now, most of this is a visual check because I've actually gone through and repacked the bearings before the Flathead Classic. You still want to go through and check every single thing. Check any rust build up on your shackles and things. Okay, go through and visually check all the cables, test your brakes out, make sure they all work, and lubricate on the grease points. Same thing with your winch, check everything including your safety chain, make sure there's no rust build up, check your strap, actually pull it out and actually check it. Okay, last things, I've got a little a trip log on sheet that I keep on the freezer in my garage just to let my wife know where I am in case she gets a bit worried. It's the exact same information that you would provide to VMR when you log on and log off. Again, you can download this from the website. Okay, that's it. I hope this was useful. I hope somebody finds this useful. Please remember to hit the like button, share this far and wide, and remember any of those little tools that you've seen in this video are available for download from the fishthatsnag.com.au website, and I really hope to see some of you out on the water.